That's fine. That's fine. Good afternoon and welcome to the G Spot. Bremen taking on the Raptors. We get a very German affair here in Belgium and Ghent. And this is the 15 and 16 ranked teams in this tournament as dictated by the almighty algorithm that reseeds them and makes them play against opponents that will have similar wins and losses and record and thus similar level. As we go now, we're getting tighter and tighter games, which is great to see. We are in the last round of the day. It's a 3-day tournament. Seemed like a 4-day tournament. We kicked things off yesterday with a juniors event. And Bremen open up. The forwarding disc. Back to number 90. Leads. And the 21 shirt puts it into the front corner. Around, almost a chance to take it away, but not quite. And into the middle, quick distribution. And there's a nice safe throw into the corner. Bremen are on the board. 1-0 after one. Clean hold. Welcome to everybody in the chats. Pleasure to have you joining us. And from their own end are the Raptors. And pick called. It's going to go right back to the end zone into the hands of Tong Dong.
Raptors really pinned at the back here. Got a long way to march to the other end zone.
You like the defensive pressure then, Noah? If you feel them as pinned, let's see if they can get out of there. Wankerman to Dong. And pick called.
I'm not surprised to see the defensive pressure on the side of Bremen. They opted to take the game seriously and do a warm-up instead of give you any rosters, Steph.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. That was the choice of that man there, 87, who just got beat. And there is a goal against them. Maybe should have taken it a little more relaxed in the warm-up. Over-warmed up, perhaps.
Yeah, they're gassed. They had to call picks just to stay in that point, I think, Steph.
It's 1-1. I guess there's no panic button to hit yet.
Hasn't even appeared, the panic button. That throw off the check-in was crazy, though. It took the Bremen defenders by surprise. Took the cameraman by surprise. It was an interesting option. I've seen a lot today of like leading inside flicks. They were in the what game is that? The Satan Sprung. They were using them to great effect.
Oh yeah.
Interesting one here today. I think it's a nice and still day, but you know it's like the disc isn't dying in the air. There's a little bit of swirl. It's just keeping the disc nice and up. It's a good day for a good throw. It's a good day for a good hucker.
Ooh, that one. I thought that was off the foot before the grass. And if it was, that is a turnover. But they're playing on. And there's the turnover. Noah, did you have a look at that? Did you have a perspective?
I thought it hit the turf first, but
Okay.
I wasn't certain, Steph.
I've been wrong before.
Really? When? Name one time.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen. I'm just kidding. Raptors. Ironically, my favorite basketball team.
How are the Raptors doing this year, Steph?
Oh, they're golfing already. They didn't make the playoffs.
Not even the play-ins?
Not even the play-ins.
Oh, that's rough.
We're tanking for Giannis.
Well, you already missed Cooper Flag.
Yeah. No, we couldn't tank that hard.
The Mavs pulled some craziness.
Schwebke puts it deep, and we got a reception in the end zone for a goal. Tank Top makes it happen. What dreams are made of. But nice throw there.
Had a little bit of a helping hand at the end. Defender giving a nice celebratory hug. Steph, going back to NBA biz talk, has there ever been a conspiracy theory in Ultimate, right? We're talking about the Mavericks rigging the NBA lottery. Have you got an Ultimate conspiracy theory? European Ultimate, maybe?
Have I?
Yeah.
Personally.
Have you ever heard of one?
I'm going to have a good think of that. There surely have been conspiracies in Ultimate. But nothing's coming to mind right now, so we'll leave it at that. If something comes up, though, I'll let you know, No. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
Maybe I'm thinking about how on earth Davide More keeps getting allowed into EUF events. Maybe he's on the inside. It's an inside job.
It could be that. It could be that. Well, ULTI.TV somehow keep getting him on air as well, so... Davide, I think he's just a good negotiator when it all comes down to it. 25, throws up to the far sideline. Layout there.
Ooh, great bid.
And handle cut, well covered. And finally gets a little bit of room. Up the line. Looking to dump only here and does get one away. There's the throw for goal. And Bremen are in for one. Ties things up. Deuce.
I was impressed in that point about how when receivers would make a big play, they just sat and found a nice easy option afterwards. So easy to get excited after making a big play on the reception of the disc to take a little bit too much risk, to jam something in that doesn't need to go. But Bremen, nice and patient, they're well prepared before the game, and they're back into this 2-2.
Back into it. Ready to rock. Just going over some results here, Noah. Trying to see where Remix lost, and I don't see it, but they have lost. Oh yeah, they lost to Zurich, ZU Mixed 12-10. And now, where are ZU Mixed? They are 4th, Remix 5th. Germany Ultimate under 24 are in third. I'd love to see them streamed as the Raptors navigate. Jakob goes all the way around, and now Venkman. Now the big around. Trung Dong can't get up, and the defense has a swipe.
Knocked out of the park with that bid. The receiver didn't quite get to the first effort, but he made sure he wouldn't get to the second. So tell me, Steph, who is the top of this tournament at the moment? Who's in first position?
Well, we have seen them our very first game. No. Do you remember?
The Stromflut.
Yeah, Stromflut.
Stromflut.
Number 1, 3-0.
Yeah.
Mixed Masters of Belgium, 3-0.
Very nice.
Germans and Zoo Mixed. I think we're waiting on results because both of them said 2-0.
The German U24s.
Yeah, German under 24s and Zoo Mixed are both 2 games, 2 wins.
Some of these teams, Steph. So they're probably playing now.
Yes. Yes, because there's the 2 rounds is 1 round.
2 rounds is 1 round.
Well, there it is. So that's probably the game then. Germany under 24 against Zoo Mixed. Let me just go check the schedule now.
The old trier. 2 rounds is 1 round.
Yeah. 2 tries is 1 try.
God loves a trier.
I know it's still going on. Result undetermined. It was 9-8. So it must be over, but they just haven't had the results put in yet. Germany under 24 was up by a single. Here, Raptors put one on to stay up a single.
You know what song I've got stuck in my head, Steph?
Is it one of the jingles?
It is indeed.
I follow.
I've
That
got
one?
the other one. I'm Under the Sea.
Under the sea. That's why it's hotter under the water. Under the sea, under the sea. I'll stop.
It's the Underwater Lovers edition, I think, this year of G-Spot. So we already knew that Glasgow are coming as pirates. What would be your choice of...
The other commentator is what it says in the chat.
That's possible. Fuck. Great.
Herman Kaiser, thanks for your note that you are unable to hear the other commentator. And we'll see if we can fix that out. He's multitasking back there. Bremen. Ooh. Throw the blind pass. Bremen. Get a throw around. And a high throw. It's fading away, but it works. For a goal. There's another look at it. And that pull goes out of bounds. Trong. Ooh, nice strong hand to collect there. Nothing soft about Martin. And Trong launches the body. A little bit gratuitous, but a little bit sure about it. And towards the sideline now. Maya. Back over to Schoft. And he finds a center seam. Muller. And there it is for the goal. Raptors find their way in.
It was a tricky possession for Raptors, but in terms of the throws and catches, they were steady.
There he is, our second commentator's back. Bringing the analysis. No. How you doing back there, Noah?
Pretty good. I might be back. I'm hoping I'm back. Steph, I'm actually twice as back because I'm now in both of your earphones instead of just in one headphone side.
Yeah, Herman Kasser immediately in the chat saying yes, much better. We didn't say yes, but
Are you sure?
affirmatively
Herman,
saying
wait
much
a few
better.
points and you might want me to mute again.
Yeah, well, wait till you hear what he has to say before you say much better. And Bremen on the pickup. Firster. Could be Miriam or Mareke. One player I recognize on this team.
Not Firster of Disconnection fame, right?
Yes.
But aren't they playing at Elite Invite?
Well, maybe. Yes, they are. Maybe that's a year off of one of those teams.
Interesting.
It is.
Especially because Disconnection beat Deep Space earlier, correct?
Yes, they did. And there's two of the Firsters, Miriam and Mareka. So maybe one of them's still over there. Who knows? Bremen moving around, trying to navigate the zone here. Tall guy headband on the dump. And nice. Well, it's basically in a round, but tucked the inside lane there. Gives, goes. Ooh, that one looked speculative. But possession retained.
Steph, many teams would have crumbled out of this zone by now, but Raptors stay in. But I'm proven wrong as Firster hits the flick down the line for the goal.
Yeah, great finish to that point. I think you're right, too, Noah. A zone, I mean, there's got to be an end to a zone, and it shouldn't be getting scored on. Or that should be the plan anyways. It's either a certain point on the field or a certain number of passes. But Raptors decided to just stay in it the whole way through, and in the end, Bremen find their way through.
There was a point there in the possession, though, where Bremen got sort of gummed up sort of around the brick mark. So nice to see that happened, but there was rarely pressure on the throw. I think the most likely they looked to turn was that slightly sketchy backhand dump. Sometimes you just want the other team to throw a lot of passes, but I think Raptors could create some more pressure with some match defense.
And Raptors. Boo, it looked like a gainer, but it's knocked away.
What a block. Speeds up the inside lane.
It was intended for Mashek. And now a throw right to the brick mark, and now for goal, but taken away. In the skies, Jonas Vankerman takes it and then gets a reception on the other end. Wide open, but not taken, and luckily he had a wide open option there. There'd be some explaining to do. Jakob goes back, Vankerman, Schoft. And the throw for goal does not connect.
Off the fingertips of the Raptor receiver. Couldn't quite get the claws around that one. Good signs for Bremen in this point.
You know, I used to think of Velociraptor had something to do with velocity, and they were just faster raptors. I was wrong.
But, you know, they needed a bit more velocity earlier on with the run through D.
Vankerman patrolling the skies once again.
Signaling a timeout, not taken. Or maybe he's just the front of the stack.
Inside throw. And around they go. Vankerman's everywhere. And he does get the goal there. Could have been two catching it, but well communicated. I think that's Schoft who eventually cashes it in.
Nice touch on that flick. I think taking a note from some of the junior games he had yesterday, they were throwing flicks with fantastic precision, and another one here.
Yeah, those kids were balling yesterday.
It's a Bertet-esque flick.
Yeah, Bertets. Those kids, they got game.
Now, ULTI.TV are back. Final game of G-Spot, and hopefully for the rest of the tournament we stay problem-free, Steph. I have to give massive props to Rapazzo dissecting a laptop in the last couple hours.
Yeah, you know, I'm a techie, Noah. That's what I'm here for, the tech. I usually say I don't even like pushing buttons or plugging in cables. And today, I had my handy-dandy sunglass screwdriver with me because I like my shades. And, you know, sometimes they need to be tightened or loosened. And I was like, wait, those are miniature screws. I've got just the tool. And then I got going, and then I just, you know, got hot and I stayed hot. It took a long time. But I opened up a laptop today, people. And we're streaming on that laptop that I opened. Go ahead and send your applaud into the chat. No, it's fine. I don't need your applause. But who might is Bremen. They could use some applause, and they could use a team manager to be able to help put in rosters that take just a couple minutes. 87 with the disc. He goes to first. And again to Firster. Up the line. Dump space. This zone really increasing the pass count.
You think Bremen are being the right amount of patient or a little bit too patient here, Steph?
I think too patient, but I'm always, dying for excitement. But even as a coach, I would want to be a little bit more aggressively attacking. Like, as Davide says, and, as nuts as he is, he's got great adages and understanding of the game. As soon as that pass count gets over 20, the mistake is coming. And there's a lot of truth to that. The fatigue level goes up, and the more hands you have to go through. They're standing there on the doorstep right now, so it's tough for me to say that they haven't navigated well. But, yes, I think I would like to be a little bit more front foot forward on my possessions against a zone.
It's a mental thing, right? Like, even if every pass is uncontested, eventually one pops up, you work it through a cold set of hands, and you get a drop. But, yeah, look, Raptors saying they've done great work and they've made a lot of passes happen, and maybe they have the same perspective as us. I think Bremen feel like they're in no rush.
Ready to roll. Bremen.
The weather here, Steph, is like very, very warm and sunny. I think it's the second time we've been to Belgium and get this very hot weather. I wish we could have had that last year in Ostend as well. But
goodness. Ostend of the earth.
Take me back to Ostend.
Never.
Never. Never, never, never. But Ghent, I'd happily go back, and it's perfect weather to be driven around on a boat, on a lake, I think. That's what's in store for the players later today.
Raptors. Moving around, Trong. Can't go wrong. And he hits Vankeman. Vankeman bombs deep, and that one was thrown just hard enough to Martin Schoft.
Yeah, there was a moment there. You think, oh, is the poach defender going to catch up? Is the match defender going to catch up? But there was a little bobble in the wind. You'll have a look on the replay that just took it nicely into the hands of the receiver and out of the way of the defenders.
Like a candle in the wind.
This is a remarkably clean game, Steph. Offenses are playing fantastically.
You think it's because of the 3G fields? There's no dirt out there?
Yeah, I think it's pristine, it's crisp, no
tidy.
Rain, no mud.
Yeah, they are playing quite tidy. I agree with you.
We're a protected field here as well. We've got the trees all the way around. So as the wind is picking up, and you can see that as the trees are rustling in the wind, it's not really affecting the conditions on ground level too much. Just got to be careful about throws that are lofted into the air.
We are protected.
I'd feel more protected, though, Steph, if our viewers back home liked and subscribed.
Oh, yeah.
That's
like a whole nother level of protection that we get from our wonderful viewers hitting like button. I just did it myself. I can't believe I hadn't up until now. Fester and the captain, 87. Leading throw. Not in. tapped. Spin around and back to 87. Förster leads high, hits for the goal, and Bremen namelessly go up another.
Got to ask
So that
questions
makes
of
it
the D-line
sixes.
here. Förster dribbles up almost the entire field and then delivers a very nice flick break to the outside. It was a quicker, higher tempo possession from Bremen. And it's good to see them mix it up after some slower tempo ones in the zone points. Impressive offense. Can the Bremen D-line now step up and get a block?
Six. And there's the pull from their own brick bark. The Raptors shake a little bit of space. Hackle. And fired forward. Venkeman. He goes around Jakob. And led forward.
That stat getting all bunched up on the far side. Plenty of space to extend to the end zone here.
Far sideline, waits for a dance in the backfield, and then goes to Schoft. Schoft goes to Venkeman. Gives and goes. Schoft fires and hits in the corner. And Raptors put 7 on the board.
I've been so impressed with Schoff in this game. He is like such a steady pair of hands. The throws and catches are crisp and clean. That like half pivot inside backhand break was beautiful in the around flick here for the goal.
And he's not a small guy either. That helps always.
It's hard sometimes for receivers to get reps on disc to have that level of crispness. And also he's tall at a level where, you know, for some players coordination can be a problem. Certainly not a problem for him.
No, he's got all the knees and elbows worked out there. So Bremen could force your Galaxy point here, or Raptors could just go ahead and take half. Pulls, skips, and lands. Now first fires deep and went up early. Could have kept running that one, I think. But a misread gives the Raptors a chance to break.
As a coach, Steph, how would you mark that one down on the score sheet? Is it a throwing error or a catching error?
Tough. I think as a coach, I would mark it as a receiving error. As a statistician, I would have to mark it as a throwing error.
Tough to call it a receiving error when the receiver is not close enough to get to a hand to it, but I think it could have been.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it wasn't a guaranteed that had they kept running, they could have got a hand to it, but they would have had a better chance.
First on the goal line.
And up and over and in, and we've got ourselves a Galaxy point. 7-7, half at 8. Time cap is 50 minutes, Rob G1729. And if the score is within 2, they will add a cap to it. If it's beyond, then it will be game over.
You got to back the O-line here. So many clean holds in a row. Got to expect another one. Bremen's going to have something to say about it, though.
Let's see what they say. Trong centers to Maya. And now Vankerman. Underneath comes Mashik. Up line to Meyer. Gets the right hand and led for the goal. And Schaft as it goes for the goal. That's halftime. And it is a 1-goal lead for the Raptors. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be back with second half action live from G-Spot.
From our workshop in Bordeaux to Ultimate Field worldwide, Force Ultimate creates custom gear with care. Locally made, low impact, built to perform. No outsourcing, just pure in-house craftsmanship. Built to withstand every dive and sprint, our gear is as tough as your game. Your sport, your team, your force. From a workshop in Bordeaux to Ultimate Fields worldwide, Force Ultimate creates custom gear with care. Locally made, low impact, built to perform. No outsourcing, no shortcuts, every piece crafted in-house by skilled artisans. Built to withstand every dive and sprint, this gear is as tough as your game. Your sport, your team, your force. Why choose Force? Exceptional quality, eco-friendly production, and every kit is designed with your team's identity in mind. Force Ultimate, built to perform, made to last. Gear up now at forceultimate.com.
Here we go.
This year, London Invite is bigger than ever, with 8 teams in the Open Division, 8 teams in the Women's Division, and for the first time, a full 8-team Mixed Division.
With 5 World Games teams, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, France.
As well as the Tokai Super Team, is sure to be the ultimate showcase of the best in the world.
More teams, more streams, more stars, more ultimate.
More excitement.
You're not going to want to miss London Invite 2025.
1.
Back in action, and Raptors can take the first point of the second half, but they don't. They've thrown that one away.
From our workshop in Bordeaux to Ultimate Field worldwide, Force Ultimate creates custom gear with care. Locally made, low impact, built to perform. No outsourcing.
You're making sure you get the message from Force. There's also a nice message there from ULTI.TV, the big event coming up at London Invite. I'm sure you've already got it circled on your calendar, but a good opportunity to become an ULTI.TV member on our YouTube channel so you can catch all the action. Great action in both the Open and Women's Division, and of course this year in the Mixed Division, the World Games Prep, trying to take on the highly touted Tokai Super Team. I would not want to miss a minute. So do what you need to do, become a YouTube member with us, and ensure not a minute is missed.
Foul calls here, Steph. What do you think about it?
Not too sure what I think about it. What do you think about it, Noah?
I don't know if I think if the receiver is almost like baiting the contact, I think. But there is a kind of a handout from Raptors. It's hard to tell. It's so hard to not put that hand out, though, Steph, when someone's running straight towards you.
Yeah. Well, it's been foul contest.
Come in on 6. First, he's got to find an option here.
Finds, no, does not, knocked away. by Barbara Muller.
Raptors with a great chance to break here.
Meyer on the pickup. Boom. Vankerman. Around to Meyer. He's got Jakob into space. Good strong hand there.
First, it was so close there.
That was Barbara Muller again. She got the block and she makes another play to retain possession. Muller to Maya. And now looking to the dump space. Oh, wow, what a catch.
Wow.
It was awesome. Behind the head. Shoffed
Wow.
in for the goal. There's a pick called. It doesn't count yet.
This point so far has been all about Harburg Müller. Gets the block, very crucial in the possession, and then that crazy catch, and then throws the goal. Pick retracted.
Pick retracted. You don't see picks retracted often. Fouls retracted, travels, stall outs. But picks are picks. No, you felt a pick, you called a pick.
Maybe you feel that you're calling a catch-up pick, but then in the end,
You want a mustard pick.
yeah, you need a guitar pick.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, I guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
No catching up to be due if your man catches it in the end zone.
Yeah.
And what a point from Harburg Müller. Putting the team on her back.
Good old Barbara Muller.
Oh, if
Getting
I've
it
been
done.
messing up that name, I was messing up that name.
Wait, we didn't have to draw attention to it. I just said it properly right after. But
Oh, yeah, that's how it
call
works,
you
right?
Benji. I'm
This whole
looking
planetary
at
thing is
a-
pretty tough.
Frizz.db always comes with some great stats and analysis. If you're not following them on Instagram, you should. There's a big tournament down the road in Leuven, and this stat is posted on their Instagram. Today was the first time Clapham have lost the first two games of a tournament since the U.S. Open in 2014.
Wow.
That is something.
And Clapham went to the US Open in 2018, so that's not what happens every time.
Goodness gracious. The disappointment for Clapham, the Bullfrog. But what a wild tournament. But this one is the one where the action's happening. Bremen. Ooh, he stays in bounds. Fire to the end zone. In for the goal. Number 81.
Bremen steadied the ship, but didn't come without its risks. Throws right to the sideline and collected there. Yeah, I think we've seen in the Open Division in Leuven so far that the teams are closer together than they have ever been, Steph. And maybe those teams who traditionally haven't been seen as the very, very top S-tier teams want it a little bit more at this stage of the season. Want to prove the haters wrong.
Yeah. It's going to take a bit more to prove it. There our dance jingle. Means there's 5 minutes to go. Five minutes to go till the party starts. Maybe a bit more than that. But till this last round is over, there's a bid. Splashing to the ground, Dong Trong with the disc. And
Another
we get a
pick called. Steph, so how close does the trailing team need to be for play to continue after cap here?
It says within 2, so it's basically 1.
Okay.
I don't know why they phrase it like that. I'm going to go back and look because it was peculiar. It says cap +1 only when scores, equal or 1 point difference.
Okay.
So 7-9 game is over. So if Raptors can score and then maintain for 5 minutes, it will be a game over. Nice shot, but it's intercepted. I thought it was nice.
Ripped down with the left hand.
Uh-oh. And no, he can't get it back. I thought Trong Dong was able to do it again, but not this time. They get a catch. And now send it the other way. Uh-oh, too high. Out she goes. And Raptors now with an even shorter field. 3 minutes, 30 remaining.
I think Bremen will be watching this one back and really disappointed about that opportunity. They could have made it, tied it up there, but Raptors have a chance to go 2 ahead and maybe seal out the game if the cap works in their favor.
Can they find their way in? Boom. Toe down, Trong to Venkerman. And that's a 2-goal lead. 10-8, 3 minutes. Bremen need to score twice or the game's over before. Oh, no, they only need to score 1.
Just one.
Yeah, they need to score 1.
You can hear an ambulance in the background. Is that for Bremen? We'll find out in the next 4 or 5 minutes here, Steph. Got our scoreboard model out here, flexing what might be the right score. Looks more like 8-17 than 8-10.
Why?
Well, there's no bottom. There was no bottom of the 0. So it looks a little bit 17-y.
Oh, no, it's a 10.
Yeah. Well, I didn't seriously think that the Raptors had got to 17.
I know, but I mean, I don't think the
I
numbers.
don't think dog years are 7, but I don't think Raptor years are 7 too.
Raptor years are even more, actually. I have a minor in paleontology. It's a lie. But what's the truth is that Bremen has the disc right now. And they are trying to navigate this Raptor defense for a chance to keep playing. Offhand, backhand. Then a nice around. Compromise the mark. Upfield. Oh, but thrown ambitiously. And the defense knocketh away. But there's a small chat here.
Could have a look at the replay.
We could have a look at the replay. Here it is.
Oh, it looks pretty clean to me, Steph. We'll play it
It
again.
looks super clean. And they've accepted the cleanliness of it.
Excellent. They accepted the cleanliness by retracting the call.
Yes. Ooh, and that throw doesn't work. Bremen. We're going to hear the jingle in about 30 seconds, Noah. Will they be able to score in time? Or less than 30 seconds. There it is. They need a goal here or it's game over. If they score, they're allowed to keep playing.
This guy's got a hammer. He's winding up. He wants to throw it.
Back they go to center. Can they extend it? They put it up, and they are unable to make the catch. Can the Raptors put this one to bed? Streaking receiver, 20 meters open, but oh goodness. A flub of an error.
Someone's put butter on the disc at the end of the game, Steph.
I love butter. Well, now Bremen, now we had such a tidy game, and then this point, messy, like Lola Young.
I mean, props to 44. I think that's his second run-through block of the point. Oh, and a third run-through block.
Another. And a screaming instruction to get the troops upfield. No throw yet. Dump space and in the corner. And was that an outright miss, or did that hit him in the hand and he just didn't close the hand?
I think he was thinking too much about the footwork, Steph, thinking about keeping it in the pitch and maybe in the end zone. And it flies straight out the hands.
The irony there is I believe that that's the same player who was using a harsh tone of voice to get his players there. And another run through. We could call that a lay down D.
Is it a layout block? If I was on stream and I made that layout block, I'd want to say it was a layout block.
Yeah, it was a layout block. But I mean, it just came like tumbling through at the end.
Sometimes a tumble is all it takes.
Yep. Back in the hands. '21. And another block. This is a full-on block party out here.
The D-lines have come alive. Finally some defense in this game. Offensive reigns supreme, but now they can't get a handle on the game. And players just coming up the inside. Cutters need to seal out.
Bang, sends it. Looking to do it in one throw. Oh, not in, but in and around. That'll do it. Speculative, but that's a game as Bremen just kept knocking at the door, but nobody answered. And Raptors said, all right, enough of this. We're going to end it.
End it they did, Steph. And Bremen, they were on the doorstep so many times, but couldn't quite convert, and it was costly because they're now too far away for the cap. And Raptors win outright in usual time, no Fergie time this time.
Yeah, I think the difference in that game was the fact that I knew all the names of the Raptors and none of Bremen.
You were cheering them on, Steph.
Yeah, I was the eighth player out there for the Raptors. Non-biased when we get such great help from one team. I really loved that the Raptors took a short warm-up or interrupted their warm-up and helped us get those rosters in. Love it. And as we love all of you at home, thanks for watching. It's been such a great day here at G-Spot here in Ghent. And we've got more action tomorrow and into the finals on Sunday. There's going to be parties tonight. I don't know what to do with those things, but I'll see if I can fit in a little bit. Well, Noah, any last words?
I got to apologize to the teams today that we didn't quite get the stream out, but we worked very, very hard through reconstructing the laptop, and fingers crossed for a smooth day of streaming tomorrow, Steph.
Yep, I'm confident now that we're going to stay going. So for Noah Brinkworth, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Bye.